Welcome to the Self-Publishing School podcast. This is the podcast to listen to if you're an aspiring writer or an author who wants to be more successful. On this show, you'll learn how to write and launch a book successfully, all from the top authors and people just like you who are doing it at the highest level. I'm your host, Chandler Bolt, the founder of Self-Publishing School, the author of the book called Published, and the CEO of selfpublishing.com. For free training on how to publish a book that sells 10,000 copies, go to selfpublishing.com/free training. Hey everybody, Chandler Bolt here, and joining me today is a good friend, Andrew Farabee. He's a fellow San Diegan. He's a host of the Knowledge for Men podcast, knowledgeformen.com, reaching millions of people all around the globe, huge podcast. And he just authored his book, The Dating Playbook for Men. And I'm really excited about this interview. We're going to dive in. This is a perfect case study. Andrew and I were talking about this. This book launch has just been crushing it. It's going to be huge for him, huge for his business. We were just talking before this interview about how this is a great example of someone who's several steps of where you are right now, but who wasn't just a few months ago. I remember just a few months ago, he's talking about this idea in his head, and the guy just implements and knocks things out. And in no time, he went from book idea in his head all the way to launching it, and it's going to be bringing in a ton of money for his business. So excited to dive into that today on this interview. Andrew, welcome, man.
All right, Chandler, good to be here. Happy to be here. I remember sitting on your couch telling you about this idea I had for a book. And here we are now. The book is live. I'm in the middle of a launch. It's been less than a week. And yeah, let's do this. I'm excited to share my experiences so far.
Awesome. And as you talk, we'll have this massive wall of books, which I'm so jealous of. Every time I go over to your house, you got this massive.
Yeah, man, you got to get your read on. I used to be a maniac with books, many years ago. I still read, but you got to read. Reading knowledge is power.
Well, let's dive into it. First off, let's talk about why you decided to do this book. I know it, but not a lot of people listening do.
Yeah. I felt that I wrote it. I never wanted to write a dating book. It's called the Dating Playbook for Men. And it wasn't something that I don't want to be a dating coach. I don't want to be a dating type of guru or pickup guy. That's not what I'm going for at all. Mainly, this was just, I felt like this book needed to come out. I feel like this needed to really go out and impact other guys out there because of what's available. I felt was really damaging, and it was more of a short-term instant gratification fix versus a long-term sustainable strategy to having an awesome dating life and ultimately ending up with the woman of your dreams. So that was my inspiration for this book here.
And this book, it came out of an old product, right? Like one of the products you had?
Yeah. So what's interesting about this book, and for other people out there who are maybe wanting to put together a book quickly, I wrote this book in about 30 days, and it's 200 pages, and it's full of just intense, really good content. Like it's full of meat and potatoes. It's full of the filet mignon, so to speak. But this book came from an audio program that I had that I launched over a year ago. It was a 5-figure launch. It did well, but since then, like I said, I didn't really want to become this dating guy, so I didn't spend too much time marketing it. And it was this awesome product that was just sitting on the shelf, and it was selling, but it wasn't selling at the level as my other products were. So I took this old product that I had and went inside of it and transcribed the audio product, and then went back and redid the program, kind of updated it, added more things, made it more clean, made it more free-flowing, new ideas, new insights into the book, removed things that I didn't like. Then I went and hired someone, obviously just following what is in self-publishing school, and got someone to review the book and edit the book, someone who had written over 15 books and edited hundreds of other books for other people for a very low price to make this just give it that kind of that real book, that impact that I wanted to make. So it wasn't an existing product that I then transcribed and turned into an ebook.
And so was there a lot of grunt work involved from going from that transcription to the editor and actually making it into a polished book, or what was that process like?
Honestly, it was a lot of fun. I loved kind of revisiting my old content that I wrote, my own fun experiences I had in the past. But having someone to work with made it very, very easy, actually. I mean, she pretty much just told me like, hey, this over here, do this, move this around. Hey, let's edit this. I think you're repetitive here. Pretty much just kind of telling me what to do. And as myself, the content creator, just kind of deciding, no, this is important. We need this. Oh, no, she actually has a good point here. And just listening to what she said and working with someone allowed my product to become shorter in length and then more impactful.
That's great. And so like the actual writing process, was it difficult? I mean, it sounds like you were able to find someone and kind of bounce off, but was there ever a time where you're just like, man, this is really tough and I don't know the direction I'm going, or I'm having trouble getting through this thing? Like, what was that like?
I think the biggest thing was really just finding the time to do it because I'm already busy. But to tell you the truth, like writing the book, it wasn't too hard. It just came down to me finding the time and being able to outsource a lot of different things. All the other aspects of writing the book, or putting the book together, like the book cover, the product description, and there's so much involved, but just really being more of the entrepreneur and outsourcing a lot of things to experts who can really do that and own that, while I focus on kind of the other aspects of running my business.
How'd you find your editor?
Elance.
Awesome.
Elance.
What do you do?
Yeah, Elance, and I just, I put up a rate and I just had a bunch of people apply, and I just reviewed everyone who I thought would be a good fit, who had the most experience, who had the most reviews, who had the highest dollar amount that they've worked with, and just found someone that I liked and gave them a test and kind of sent them a sample of what I gave them, like a short paragraph, and just had them kind of, what do you think about this? And had them send it back to me, and I liked what they did and just decided to work with them.
Was that before you hired him to multiple people, or just to the person that you were thinking about hiring?
I narrowed it down to 2 people, and I had both of them. I sent them both a document and had them kind of look at it and I just want to see what would happen. I gave them very little direction, and one of them just really went above and beyond. And I felt like, wow, if they did that for my entire book, then this is going to be a good fit.
Cool. And what were some other criteria you used to weed out all the applications and get it down to just those 2?
Yeah, if they didn't speak, if they didn't speak English, like I didn't, I'm speaking to a younger demographic, particularly guys in their mid 20s to mid 30s. And so, I want them to be able to have that type of language. So I wanted someone who was closer to my age range, and also someone who was native English speaker from American. And so that was right off the bat, like someone from a foreign country, I just eliminated those. Someone who had 0 jobs, I eliminated those. Someone who had less than 4.5 stars, I eliminated those. And so after about there's 12 applicants, like it came down to just like 3 people, and then just narrowed it down to 1 after I sent out those kind of test samples.
Great. Now, another question, then we'll move more into the marketing side of things. Why the dating playbook if you don't want to be known as like the dating guy or pickup guy or anything like that? What made you decide to go with that type of book and this topic?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I don't want to be a dating guy. I don't plan on speaking like at some dating summit or something. Like I have no desire to. I personally had a lot of pain in my life, and I overcame this pain. So I had learned a really good practical approach to having a healthy dating life and just being with high quality women. And ultimately, the answer in the dating playbook is to become more of a stronger man. The grounded man is what I call it inside the book. And I have a live event where I help men become more powerful men. It's this awakening live retreat. And so I wanted guys to understand that, like, hey, if you want to work on your dating life, like you really need to focus on yourself and build up your life and become the most powerful version of yourself. And then when you understand just a few things about dating, when you go out, it makes perfect sense and you end up getting way more results. But the answer is not in some pickup line or some little approach or some how you do this or that, but it's really about yourself. And so when guys understand that and they see results in their dating life and they're like, wow, working on myself really did work out. It leads them to think like, wow, I wonder what this awakening, this live event Andrew puts on is all about. And so my book does solve the problem. Like it does help guys in their dating lives. Like I put so much value, I put my heart and soul into it. It's not like a 30-page ebook. It's over 200 pages. And, right now it's ranked number 3 in relationships, and it's in the top 10 for dating for dating on Amazon in the paid section above like all these other like Neil Strauss and, all these other pickup guys. And I'm really excited for that, because guys are really loving what they're reading, because it's not about cheesy pickup lines or gimmicks. But enough about dating. It's not why, for the marketing, from a marketing perspective, someone who's interested in improving their dating life is also probably interested in improving their life as men. And I have a higher ticket event that solves that problem as well. Mm-hmm. So it was a great way to solve a smaller problem with dating, while at the same time offering massive value for a low price inside my Amazon, the book for the ebook. And then, we can talk more about how I set up the funnel and dive into that. But I believe that it's a massive lead generator for my high ticket event. And that's ultimately where I could serve the most value to people, is one-on-one or in a group experience with just a small group of men. And so that's why I wrote the dating book.
Awesome. And it seems like, and I think the big takeaway for people there is the ultimate thing that you sell and what this book leads to, and how, you're going to monetize it on the back end and all that stuff, is helping men become better men. But the symptom, like that's never going to be the book they're looking for, right?
Right. They
don't know. Be a better man. The playbook to be a better man. Like they're not looking for that. But the symptom and what they are looking for is their dating life, and it's something that's sucking or going bad. And so they're like, I got to get something to fix this. And then that just like, I know we were talking about this before the interview, and another speaker here, Russell Brunson, just like we're both fans of his and his 108 split test winners. And that the type of person who sees a split test book. Yeah, right there.
Yeah, it's somewhere back there. Yeah.
The kind of person that sees that book and wants it will raise their hand, and then ultimately they lead to ClickFunnels or to some of their programs.
Exactly.
I think that's a great take. Go ahead.
And also equally the same is with, Russell Brunson, they were already doing those split tests for themselves. So it wasn't any harder for them to create that product. They were already doing it, and then they just turned it into a book and gave it to someone. Like myself, I already had this audio product that was serving that purpose, and I just transcribed it and turned it into a book. So I think oftentimes we think we need to create this book out of thin air, when in reality, like we probably already have things that we're doing that are of value to other people. And we can really just, package it up in a professional way, the formatting and having the right, grammar and all the spelling and stuff, and getting the right ebook cover or designer kind of book cover, and selling that. And that becomes this massive lead generator for your higher ticket products. Like I'm not interested at all in my sales. Like I'm not like, oh, am I going to pay rent with my ebook sales? Like not at all. What I'm most interested in is the leads that come from that book, who are going to be interested in my higher ticket events.
Absolutely. So is that the number one goal of this book, is to bring leads for the higher ticket event?
Yeah. And to expose them to my Knowledge for Men podcast. So it's the high ticket stuff, and then just to build the brand of Knowledge for Men.
So that then they can listen to more podcasts and eventually lead to something else, or to strengthen that relationship further there.
Yeah, because the podcast is, I do a bi-weekly podcast, and people who listen to that podcast, when I talk to them, that's a completely different prospect versus someone who just found out about me, like who doesn't listen to my podcast. My podcast, people feel like they know me. They feel like they've developed this relationship with me. And when I talk to them, it's like, they are very happy and honored to be talking to me, versus someone who just came to my website real quick and then opted in, and then I'm talking to them right away. Like it's not the same relationship.
Got it. So let's talk about the marketing piece for the book and really dive into that. So you've got the strategy of bringing leads for the high ticket stuff. You got the book done. You repurposed an old course, did the transcription, found a good editor. That process is all went through. Now, when it comes to the marketing side, what was some of your strategy on the marketing side? And then we'll get into more tactics and some of the stuff you've done.
Yeah. Obviously, having spoken with you, I, created this VIP club. So that was the first thing, was kind of separating my main list of my general list, which is a lot larger, and, sending out this opt-in page saying, hey, like, who wants to get this book for free? I'll give you bonus content. I'll send you videos. I'll create a private Facebook group where we can talk and I can answer all your questions. In return, I want you to leave me a helpful review and then share this Amazon book link or the book trailer, which I could talk more about later, on social media. And that was all they had to do. And so I sent out some emails promoting it, like almost as if it was a launch, where I was launching my book promotion to my general list. I ended up getting a couple hundred guys, like 250 guys opted in to that. So I had 250 guys in my VIP club. And then, I was posting updates inside the Facebook group. I was emailing them every other day, such as like, hey, which book cover, like A, B, C, or D? And then, all right, I just modified it. Which one's better? I would send them kind of snippets of my book, just letting them know like, hey, just finished this. What do you guys think? And, they'd give feedback. And so just constantly giving them something to engage in, so that when I did launch my book and was like, guys, it's here. Let's get the reviews in, in that first day, it quickly shot me up to in the top 5 in relationships. Was getting hundreds of downloads. And so the VIP club was in creating a little mini army of guys who want to support and help you launch your book. That was like essential.
So the VIP club, it sounds like you managed that group in the VIP club or the launch team through a Facebook group.
Yeah, I used a Facebook group, and then I emailed them almost every day.
Awesome. And what was one of the biggest benefits of having that VIP club?
The open rates are insanely high. Like if I was just going to send this stuff to my main list, I would have ended up getting a lot of opt-outs. Not everyone is interested in dating relationships, but I do have a lot of guys who are. So I wanted to separate that. And so I would have ended up getting a lot of unsubscribes if I was emailing every day to my my main list, and that would have damaged my list. So I separated it, and this smaller list of about 250 guys, like the open rates were insanely high, like over 60%, and the click rates were over 40%. So it was just a really good, healthy list of people who are very engaging, and they respond to everything that you send them.
And so then what were some of the other benefits? I guess those people were sharing, were they reviewing?
I had them. They reviewed the book when it first came out. They downloaded the book, they reviewed the book. And so that was essential. And then I had them, right now I'm in the process actually of having them reach out to other influencers in this space. And so that was essential, is for them to, I had them create, I made a Google spreadsheet, and I said, hey guys, I want everyone to put 3 names of people they know, whether on a podcaster, a blogger, a YouTuber, and basically put their name, their website address or YouTube URL, and then their contact email or their contact form URL. And so that we now have this list of over like 150 influencers that I did not know about, that they created because they're obviously interested in this space. And so that created this awesome list. And right now what I'm having them do is now that the book is live and I have accolades, like I'm, top 3, ranked number 3 in relationships for free books, number 10 on Amazon. It's a bestseller. It's an Amazon bestseller under dating. I rank, number 3 for the keyword dating for men on Amazon, leveraging an Amazon super URL, which we'll talk about later. But basically everyone's sending out emails to these influencers and saying like, hey, this guy has this accolades. I'm a listener of your show. And I think you should interview him, or you should do a guest post or something. So now it was like this mini launch to my VIP club of 250 people. And now I'm doing like, I don't know if I made this up, but I'm doing like a media launch where I'm now having my VIP team launch my book to the media. And I just plan on continuing that elevation of, mini influencers to higher influencers, and just climbing that ladder so that I can just, I could speak just like I am right now to people who would be interested in this book.
Hey, Chandler Bolt here. I hope you're loving this episode so far. It's time to go from inspiration to implementation. All right, so if you've learned something, we want to help you implement what you've learned with your book. So what I want you to do right now is go to selfpublishing.com/schedule, book a publishing consultation with one of the experts on my team. We'll talk about your goals for your book, your dreams, your challenges, your next steps, and we'll start putting together a plan. All right, so go to selfpublishing.com/schedule, book a call with the team. Let's see how we can help with your book. It's time to implement.
Now, what would you say to people who say, Andrew, you've got a killer podcast. You've got a huge audience. This VIP club had to be easy for you. You just send out a couple emails, boom, 250 people. I don't have that, Andrew. I'm Joe Schmo on the street. I don't have a podcast. I'm just kind of getting into this online space. How can I create my launch team?
Got it. Well, here's another thing is, I may have had, I won't lie. It was pretty easy to create the VIP club, but I've been podcasting for a year and a half. I've been blogging for 2 years. So it's not like it was that easy because I've been working for free for over a year to be able to make it easy for the launch. And so that's the importance of building out, your team, building out an audience. However, if I was in your position, because I was, when I launched a podcast over a year and a half ago, I leveraged my friends, I leveraged my family, I leveraged mentors, and you don't need to have 250 people in your VIP club to make it happen. Honestly, if you had 25 people who were committed, that would make it happen for you. Because I wasn't asking so much from each one of these guys because there were so many of them. But like if you had 25 fully committed people, which you could get, like you could post on Facebook, like you have friends, you have family, you got to open up your phone, like you got to start emailing people, like you can make it happen with your personal network. That's how I launched my podcast and grew it to, top ranked podcast. Anyways, that's the podcasting, but you don't need to have 250 people. I can say that because the 250 people that I did have, some of them were leechers. Some of them were not participating, but they consumed all the free stuff I gave them and they downloaded, the book when I gave it to them for free. And they didn't provide any value to me, which, you just have to keep, whatever, like you just keep walking past that. But if I had a smaller niche group of guys, I would think of it like a team of Navy SEALs who are fully committed and on board with you versus having, let's say, I don't know if anyone's watching this, and maybe if like a team of like National Guard guys who don't want to be there, who are just there for benefits or whatever. There's a big difference between a Navy SEAL and a guy who doesn't want to be in the Army. So I would think of creating like your 300, kind of like the Spartan 300, just a small group of guys who are fully committed to helping you. And how can you do that? I think it's a good time to talk about like how I was getting people really involved and engaged was I was giving them massive free content. I created a survey and I said like, hey, put your biggest question here and I'll answer it. And I would go through the questions at the end of the day. There'd be like 5 questions, 10 questions. And I would create a little video just like this, nothing special, just using this camera here and this mic. And I'd answer everyone's questions about dating and relationships. And I'd say like, hey, John, I see your question here about this. Answer his question. He comments and he's all engaged. Everyone's getting engaged. So I'm providing value to these people. In addition, when I did the launch, I created a raffle system where I said like, hey, everyone who opts in and I see your review, I'm going to put your name in a raffle. And I use this website called Random Name Picker. It's some cheap tool. And I put everyone's name in there. And then I would film, I whipped out like this, I just used like my smartphone here and I'd film the random picker. I just made it kind of custom. I'm like, hey guys, just got back from the gym. I'm going to pick someone's name. And then I would send that person $100 Amazon gift card through digitally. And then I would do one for free coaching. Like, hey guys, I'm doing a free coaching session. Make sure everyone gets their review in. And so everyone would be like, oh, I want to get on there. And so, I just created fun ways to get my audience engaged.
That's great. I love that idea. Because we're only a week out from you launching the book and you've got, I saw it, I think yesterday, and it was an impressive amount of reviews. How many are you up to now?
I haven't checked in the last few hours, but it's like over 80 reviews.
Awesome.
It's like 4.9 stars. Yeah.
That's great.
So yeah, that's the power of, the VIP club and then, just giving massive value and just working overtime.
Let's talk about this book trailer you did. Because I know you did a really professional job on that, and it was a really good book trailer. Talk about why you decided to do that book trailer, and then also what have been some of the results from doing it.
Yeah. Okay. So I created. I'll tell you exactly why I created a book trailer. It's because I love movie trailers. I'll just put it that way. I go when I go to the movies, I love watching movie trailers. That's like I always want to get there early. So I'm passionate about film. And so, what I would urge other people to like, hey, what are you passionate about? Like, what can you do to like make this fun and exciting for yourself? Like, what are some things that you like to do where you can make this like a really fun thing? Because launches can be very stressful. Launches can be very hard on yourself and hard on your social life, hard on your emotional life. So, I was just like, I want to do something fun for this launch. And I was like, why don't I create a book trailer? And this idea did stem from an article about Tim Ferriss, this guy who was helping Tim Ferriss with his book launches. And they said that when they launched a book trailer, that it increased their sales by 10 times. So I was like, wow, and then I looked for Tim Ferriss's trailers, and he does one for all of his books. There's one for the 4-Hour Chef. There's one for the 4-Hour Body. And I was like, all right, well, he's doing it. And he's just doing these 60-second trailers. And I was like, I love doing trailers and I love filming. So why not put something together, 60-second kind of epic trailer. Anyone who wants to check that out, you go to YouTube and type in Dating Playbook for Men trailer. It's a 60-second kind of epic trailer, and it can kind of give you an idea of what you can do. And a lot of that footage, I just purchased stock footage and then bought, some good high quality music, and then had paid someone to edit that video. I'll tell you a few things. The book trailer did one thing, is when I put that book trailer out to my VIP club, I didn't tell them I was doing that. They were just blown away. They knew that this was like, oh, wow. Like it was kind of like woke them up. It was like, wow, Andrew's serious. Like, this isn't just some ebook that he wrote, just for it, that took him 10 days to write. He's serious. Like he's investing time, money, and energy into this. So I better be serious. And there was a healthy response from my list. And I thought that it was a great way to kickstart the launch to my VIP club. And then right now where I'm at today is I use that same trailer for my main list. And then that was also kind of like whoa, Andrew created something here. And, inside the book, you can do YouTube. You can do YouTube links inside the video where you can click on the video and it sends them straight to Amazon. And how I did that, by the way, is you just create a redirect because you're not supposed to send them to Amazon. I used knowledgeformen.com/playbook, and then I just made a redirect that took them then to Amazon. So that's kind of how you can get past that. So the trailer has been really cool. Another thing that I've done is Facebook ads right now is super crazy with video ads. Like it's insanely cheap. So let me share with you this quick little thing that I did is I created a custom audience of guys who are interested in single guys who are within the age range. Anyways, I made an audience of guys who I think would be interested in my book. And I put the video up, uploaded it into Facebook. Don't upload it into YouTube and then put the YouTube link. Upload the video into Facebook. And then what happens is Facebook loves video ads. I'm getting 2-cent views right now on Facebook, 2-cent views. Like when I saw that, I was like, oh, this probably isn't going to last. So I increased my amount from $25 a day to I believe it's $75 a day right now. And it's still 2-cent views. I woke up this morning, it's still 2-cent views. Also, this is what's crazy is if I did the same ad and I took the YouTube link and made a Facebook ad that sent traffic to the YouTube video, and that costed $1 and some change per view. So I went from 2 cents per view to I went from $1 and something per view to 2 cents per view.
Wow.
So like there's an insane ROI on however, you can't track it necessarily. You can because you don't know if they made a conversion or not, but it's such cheap views that like I'm getting likes on, the page, there's people sharing it. It's just so cheap that like, why not do it? Like it's not costing me anything. And I am seeing an increase in sales. But it's hard to measure all of that because it's through Amazon. It's not through my own system. So that is the downfall is for tracking. But guys, like it's such cheap views and it's targeted traffic to an audience that I know would like this, single guys who are within the age range who like this and that. So that's what I've done with the book trailer, and it stands on YouTube forever, just pointing straight to that book.
And so are you also in those Facebook ads? Are they clicking over to, I imagine, to the book?
Yeah, in Facebook ads, you can put a link, an outside external link, which is I'm pointing straight to Amazon.
Got it. And so
Yeah.
that's in the ad. That's not clickable on the video, right?
After the video is played, it goes whoosh, and it changes, and then it does show inside the video. It shows click here, and then you get to put what you want. Like I put get the
Oh,
book, and then you can put the link right there in the video, in addition to having it on the right side in the ad. So you could have it
great.
in both places. So Facebook is really pro video right now, and so I think the book trailer can definitely be leveraged that way.
What are your click cost on those? Do your Facebook ads track the click cost?
So the click is it's last I checked, it was 12 cents.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's super cheap.
Yeah. Super cheap.
12-cent clicks. So, I mean, if we run the math there, if you've got 12-cent clicks, 100 clicks would be $12. And on 100 clicks, I mean, if you convert 10% of that, that'd be 10 books sold for $12. How much is your book?
$10.
Oh, wow. So
yeah, my book's a little more.
Yeah. So 70% Amazon royalty off of, I mean, if we're just playing numbers here, off of 10% conversion, so 10 books at $10, $100, you get 70% of that from Amazon. So 70 books. I mean, that's $12 ad spend for $70, which is pretty dang good.
And the money for me is not made on the front end. I don't care about the royalties. The money is all in getting them into, getting that lead and getting them interested in my future higher ticket products and live events that I do.
Yeah, and so at this point, you're getting paid for leads. You're getting great high targeted leads. You're getting a bunch of free likes on your Facebook page. You're getting engagement, shares, recognition for the podcast, for you, for your name, for your events. Like, boom, coming from everywhere from this one video and from these one ads. I really like that you're doing that, and it's amazing that you're getting such cheap clicks and such great exposure from this video.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd recommend the book trailer, or I would recommend just finding ways that you can be creative with something that you like to do that's fun for you while you do your book launch or any other launch for that matter. I personally like film and kind of video stuff and epic stuff. So trailer just made really good sense for me. But there's still a lot of other things you could do. Like I don't know, man. Like if you're into like giving things away, like maybe you're giving things to the homeless, or maybe you make some viral video around your book topic. Just I think finding fun ways to create content around something that you organically like to do can really add a lot of value to your launch. And it shows that you're really passionate about what you're doing, and that this isn't just about making money, and that this is really something, an expression of who you are, which I think connects really deeply to a lot of people when they're making a transaction.
Absolutely. Tell us about this super URL that you're creating. You touched on that a little bit earlier. Tell us a little bit more of what that is and how you're doing it.
Okay. So I have a friend who assisted me with creating the link, but if you just Google like how to create an Amazon super URL, what it is it basically, when you click on this link, it searches the keyword on Google for the keyword that you want to rank. And then if you click on your book and then buy that book, then obviously Google says, whoa, people are searching for, I use dating for men as my keyword in my super URL. And then this guy went and bought it. Like, this means that he's going to rank higher for that keyword, dating for men. So what I did is I changed all of my YouTube videos, and I put like, hey guys, check out my new book. And I put the Amazon, super URL. All of my marketing, the links is the Amazon super URL. It's not just like the one that Amazon gives you. So every time someone goes to and clicks on that link, it shows Amazon that this person searched for the link, and then the result is there, and they clicked on it, and then they bought it, or they left a review and they took some action. So when I first started this, I was like, I typed in dating for men, and I was like in like 25 or 26. Like you had to scroll down, basically no man's land. No one's going to buy it. No one's going to see your book and think this is a good investment if you're at the bottom. And right now I rank number 3. If you go to Amazon and type in dating for men, I'm number 3. And the ones above me are like very established, authors with hundreds and hundreds of reviews. And so I'm just this guy that just launched their book, and I'm at the top of the charts. And so that didn't take any more work. That was just creating a super URL. And you could just Google how to do that. And I'm not going to show you here just how to create an Amazon super URL and then use that link for everything from now on. And that'll increase it's kind of like Amazon SEO for one keyword. And so that's really powerful because it doesn't take you any work. You just use that link every time you send someone to that link.
That's awesome. What are some other things that you've done on the marketing side to move books?
Man, what have I done? So I have a podcast. Touching back on how I created it, took an old existing product, but that old product also had a lot of bonuses with it. So I then used all of those bonuses and created a dating toolkit because I didn't want to put all this stuff in the book that was just like unnecessary. It's just like I wanted the book to be really free flowing, but I do have supplementary resources like, this is a dating book. So I have a supplementary guide on like, hey, how can you be more effective with online dating? How can you be more effective with your social skills? How can you be more effective with texting and getting dates? So these are supplementary guides that are important and relative to that book. And I already had them created, and I created a dating toolkit that now people opt into. And that's how I'm collecting the leads. So I didn't have to create anything new. I just, packaged it up, created a URL, dropped all that stuff on Dropbox, and boom, I had an awesome lead magnet that took people from reading the book to now getting these resources and then entering into the funnel. So that was another way to reuse old existing material that's sitting there that's still very valuable. Additionally, all the same pre-launch content videos that I used for that launch, I then used also as free bonuses. So all that marketing content, I just took the videos, chopped them up a little bit, any value that I found in those videos, made very clean videos, redid the landing pages, and then boom, I had these bonus videos that people would be interested in. The VSL, kind of the sales script that I used that as a podcast episode. So I just turned that video into an MP3, cut it up, changed some of the language because I was talking about things that aren't relevant, and then created a podcast episode, made a YouTube video, and promoting the podcast. Promoting the new book. So really just reusing a lot of existing content and then changing it up a little bit to make sure it makes sense and the language is correct, to be able to make this a much less stressful process on myself, yet still be very effective.
What are some of the top lessons you learned from creating this book and from marketing it that would be helpful to others?
Yeah. I would say, really make sure that you dedicate, the right amount of time for this. I came into this thinking that this is something I could do on the side, but as soon as I started getting into it, I was like, wow, this is taking a lot of time. This is, a lot of energy. So, I would really block out your schedule. Like I would go into your scheduling tool and not allow, all these different appointments. And I'm a podcaster. So just really mapping out time for your book launch, and getting everything scheduled and planned ahead of time. I think for me, I've learned a lot about, honestly, like, I feel like I know what to do and that I can just do it again for another book. And I think that's honestly the biggest lesson, because I think before you write a book, there's so much. And I think even right now, if you're still listening to this or watching this, you're like, wow, Andrew's doing all this crazy stuff. He's doing, movie trailers, he's doing all these VIP clubs. He's reached out to like, it sounds like I'm doing so much. But there's, I think I know how to do it now, and I'm already excited for another book that I want to work on. And the process is probably just going to be maybe 30% of what I just went through. And so that's kind of like I know that I can create a book. I know that I can do, I know how to do the whole, get an editor, product description, get the formatter, get your ebook cover, how to create the VIP club, how to do all this stuff, and just to replicate it. Like I could see myself doing a book at least twice a year. And I think it would just be great to have more real estate. Right now I'm ranking, dating for men. That's a great topic to own for someone who's interested in becoming a more powerful, stronger man. Now I can get into other spaces and own real estate for these keywords on Amazon that will make me passive income. Cause I also, I think I talked to you earlier, but I completed the audiobook already.
Yep.
Submitted to ACX. And so now I'm on Audible. Now I'm on Amazon. I'm also going to be on iBooks. So just having more real estate of really good, high quality products, that generate quality leads, and really take them down into your funnel so that you can serve them even more value. Because obviously, working with you in a group setting or coaching or consulting one-on-one is going to be where you can provide the most value and also make the greatest amount of money in return for that service that you provide. So I'm excited that I did this. I'm still involved in it, but I feel like it's kind of like, I felt like a lot of the work was kind of it's kind of like an iceberg. It's like all the work is like kind of is done already. And I see myself doing more books. I see myself doing more book launches. And I don't think it's going to be nearly as hard as what I've just done.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the best part. And one of my favorite parts is that once you do it once, it is so easy to do it again. Let's talk about some mistakes you made throughout the process. What are some things that you screwed up that you learned from and that would be really helpful for people thinking about doing their first book or maybe through the process?
So many mistakes, but that's what makes it cool. Cause now I'm going to do it again and crush it. But right off the bat, when I made my VIP club, and I think we even had lunch and I made it open for anyone. Like I was just like, VIP club is free. You get all this awesome stuff. Come on in. And to tell you the truth, I had a really high conversion rate and I was like, wow, I'm going to crush it. All these guys. But what I should have done is what you suggested, which is kind of survey them or make them kind of go through an application process so that when they come into the club, they feel like they got in, like they made it and that they're special versus them just entering and it's like, oh, cool. Like, I'm in, I'm going to wait for Andrew's free stuff now. So I think I could have had a smaller team of, let's say 100. I think if I just had 100 guys who are fully committed, who I really vetted, I think I could have had a stronger launch because I think I had too many people and really half of them were the main supporters and the other half were just there. So I think right off the bat, that's one thing. I think too, that I don't think I should have launched the book for free. Or if I was going to launch the book for free, only do it for like 48 hours. I did it for 5 days, which I think was too long. I think I should have done a 48-hour free period. And then I think I should have, took the book to like 99 cents and then took it to like $4.99 and then took it to $9.99, which is the current price. What I did is I did 5 days of free. And so basically everyone who wanted it, just ended up getting it and then turning around. And then right now it's $9.99. So it's kind of a big leap. All in all, everything's going great. The rankings are in, the sales are good. The leads are flowing right in and the open rates on those leads are super high. It's like 70% on the new leads from the book, which is amazing. Click rate is like over 50%, which is incredible.
Wow.
So these are really good leads. And so that's one is like kind of the pricing. I think, like I mentioned earlier, like I wasn't spending too much time on this. Like I was working on it, but I'm also doing a podcast. I'm also working on a retreat that I have next week. So there's just a lot going on right now and I have so much going on. I'm doing this book launch. It's like kind of squeezed it in. And I think if I paid more attention, maybe the outcome could have been greater. Those are two of the big ones that come off the top of my head.
Great. That's really helpful. What's the book? I know this is early, we're only a week out. And like you said, a lot of it's below the surface and the stuff that you'll see from the book is still to come. But so far in this time since you've launched the book, what's the book done for your business?
Yeah, it is like, it's only been less than a week. But what I can tell you is it's given my existing audience, I have guys reading the book and, they're like, I got your book, couldn't stop reading. I read it in 12 hours, read it in 14 hours. I did not sleep. I was up till 6 a.m. reading your book. Like I'm getting these type of guys who, love my content, but what's happening is like, I'm vulnerable in my book and I'm giving them my best lessons inside the book. Like I don't hold back. Like I don't have some, dating upsell. Like all my dating stuff that I know is in the book. And so guys are getting transformed, and now they're emailing me these testimonials. They're just so happy. And so I think what it's done so far is it's developed an even deeper connection with my audience, which is what I want. Like I want there to be, I don't want to be this guy who just sells you stuff, puts out stuff, sells you stuff. Like I want guys to know my story. I want guys to transform. I want guys to, really improve their lives. And this book is helping people do that. And so the testimonials are flying in, and it's getting people really excited about my amends. My people who are already coming out to my retreat are even more excited. Also, guys feel like, dude, like you are actually living it. Like you're not just someone who you're not someone who is just, who's just talking the talk. Like you're out there actually hustling, taking action. Like, I just wrote this book. I got a live event coming up next week. I've got so much happening, so much stuff I'm working on. And I think, my audience really enjoys seeing that. They're like, yeah, Andrew's out there just grinding, just hustling, like finished an audiobook in like 3 days, just grinding. And I think it's just more credibility, authority for your existing audience and for future leads coming in. And I think that's what the book has really done so far. It's only been like 6 days. So, I mean, the results, are yet to fully be in, but I know that I'm so happy that I did this book. It was something that I had in the back of my head for so long. I remember, sitting down with you and kind of talking, and I was like, yeah, I kind of want to do this book. You obviously have, self-publishing school. So it just kind of, and then just kind of from that moment to actually having a book on Amazon is really cool. And to say the least, it's like, like your family sees that you have a book, like your friends see that you have a book. And it's like, I have family members, like kind of hitting me up, and they're like, oh, like, I'm so proud of you. Like now asking me questions about business, it just creates more of an authority for yourself. Like you're kind of an expert in that space, and you're out there grinding. Like a lot of people just saying like, man, I love what you're doing. I can't, I wish I had the courage to be able to do that. And it's all possible, man. Like I did not know what I was doing.
And you have a wait list for your event, right? Too?
Yeah, I mean they're all sold out. The July one's sold out. September one's sold out. I actually just opened up a November one, and I think that's creating space for the guys. Obviously you just got the book. There's going to be a ton of guys who are going to be interested in that. But yeah, there's if you're interested in the retreat, just kfmretreat.com, and it's just a men's event, 3 days here in San Diego.
That's great. And I'm sure those are going to keep selling out, especially now that this book is out and you've got just tons of qualified leads coming in. I mean, you're going to be an event machine to keep up with all this demand. I'm excited for you, man.
Yeah.
With that, we can go and wrap. And Andrew, I just want to say, I appreciate you coming on, man. It's great to hear the whole story. And like I said at the top of the interview, it wasn't that long ago when you were just thinking about doing the book. And then here we are, fast forward a couple months. It's out there. It's selling like crazy. You hit the top of the charts. We're only a week out. You've got a bunch of qualified leads coming in. It's great to see how you took action and had so many results in such a short period of time. So I think this will be an encouragement to a lot of people who are just that couple months out from doing their book, and they can see what you've done and some great lessons in here, from the launch team to the times that you do your promos and the pricing and stuff like that. Also on the book trailer and the cheap views and cheap clicks. That was really awesome. So great lessons all around. And before we wrap, where can people go to find out more about you and about the book?
Yeah, right on. So knowledgeformen.com, you just spell it out. And the book is the Dating Playbook for Men on Amazon. You can just search on Amazon for that. And yeah, it's been an honor to, have worked with you and kind of gone through self-publishing school before, while I was doing this, to help me really just, anytime I had a challenge, anytime I had a frustration, I feel like I am, a good marketer. Like I feel like I've done a lot of launches. I feel like I look at all these books, like a lot of these are marketing books. And I felt like, what is Chandler going to help me here with? Obviously, he's written books and stuff, but like, I was like, just kind of brushing through it. But as I was going through my launch and I was just to like, I don't know what to do here, I would just go, look, you had a whole lesson on it. And I was like, wow, he has a whole lesson on my exact problem, and was able to just keep moving forward so that I didn't have any roadblocks. Just all my answers were there. So it allowed me to really publish on time and have the launch go well. Everything's gone well, despite some things I would redo. Everything's still good. I would just like to, always improve. But man, anyone who's thinking about doing a book, I can't tell you, like, I don't think you could ever look back on your life and be like, man, I wish I really didn't write that book. I wish I didn't do that. That was a waste of time. Like, I think you're always going to look back and be like, I wrote a book, like you're going to have a physical book, audio book, or an ebook. I think you'll always look back and be very proud of that moment when you published a book. And I think it's just an awesome experience that everyone should go through. And who knows, because it could completely launch your career. And there could be more books to come. And one last thing too, is I always say this on like my kind of podcast and stuff. It's like when I'm coaching guys, it's like when you're thinking about doing something and there's a storm ahead of you and there's a lot of work in front of you, I think stop looking at yourself in the mirror. Stop looking at like how hard it's going to be for you, or how expensive this is going to cost, or the risk involved, and really look at yourself in the mirror and look beyond the mirror and look at all the thousands of people out there who need you to write your book. Like, you have some lessons and some skill sets that you've learned from going from, some crazy disaster in your life. Maybe something's happened to you, and you can take those lessons and you can inspire millions of people. It's completely possible. Like, it's not a joke. Like, you can do it, and don't look at yourself. Like, think about the other people who need you to write your book. And I think that can inspire you to take action.
That's great, Andrew. Well, thanks for the kind words, man. And thanks for coming on and sharing your story, and appreciate it, man. We'll talk real soon.
All right. Take care, guys. Have a good one.
Thank you so much for watching or listening to this episode of the Self-Publishing School podcast. I know there's so many places that you can be spending your time. There's other podcasts that you could be listening to, YouTube channels that you could be watching. So thank you so much. It means the world. Now, I want you to do 3 things right now if you found this episode helpful. All right, number 1, I don't know if you know this, but we've got a YouTube channel. It's a companion channel to this podcast. All the video versions of the episode are on the YouTube channel. So number 1, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Number 2, if you're listening to this podcast wherever, whether this is Spotify, Apple Podcasts, number 2, I want you to subscribe to this podcast right now so you don't miss a future episode. And then number 3, this is probably the most important, leave a review on the podcast. All right, reviews are super important and help the podcast get discovered by other people. So number 3, leave a review on the podcast. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the next episode. If you're on the fence about scheduling a publishing consultation call with my team, maybe you're not quite ready for that, I've got some free training that I think will be really helpful for you. All right, all you have to do is go to register to sign up. Go to selfpublishing.com/free training. When you do, you're also going to get a free digital copy of my new book, Published. And on that training, you're going to learn the next steps, so how to implement with your book. So how to write, how to publish, how to launch successfully. So go to register right now at selfpublishing.com/free training. I'll see you there.